You know, your personal health data is probably one of the most valuable assets on the entire planet. Seriously, it holds the keys to brand new cures and truly personalized medicine. But right now, most of it is a complete mess. It's locked away, it's disorganized. So what if you could be the one to fix it? Today, we are diving into a really groundbreaking study that explores that exact idea, empowering patients to turn their own scattered health records into a powerful, strategic asset for the future of medicine. Let's do this.
So just how big of a deal is this problem? Take a look at this number. Somewhere between 40 and 80% of the really critical information in our medical records isn't in nice, neat little boxes. Nope, it's unstructured text. Think about your doctor's notes, complicated lab reports, or those long discharge summaries. All the good stuff, right? Well, for a computer trying to spot patterns from medical research, it's like trying to read a foreign language. It's just noise. And this isn't a small thing. It is a massive bottleneck holding back medical innovation.
Okay, so that leads to this huge, kind of radical question. What if we stop trying to fix this massive data problem from the top down? Instead of relying on teams of expensive experts, what if we actually give patients the tools to clean up their own data? This is the wild idea behind a European research project called AIDAVA. They actually built an AI-powered virtual assistant to see if patients could become the curators of their own medical story. It's a really bold vision for a patient-powered future in healthcare.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with the data problem itself, then we'll dive into the AI solution they built. After that, we'll look at how it actually performed in a real-world test. Then comes the good part, unpacking the key strategic insights, and we'll wrap it all up with some solid, actionable recommendations. Let's jump right in.
All right, first up, the data interoperability problem. You have to understand, the way health data is handled right now isn't just some small inconvenience. It is a major roadblock for progress in the life sciences. It's slowing down everything from discovering new drugs to delivering personalized medicine.
And believe me, the consequences of this data chaos are massive. We're talking about spending a fortune on experts just to clean up and organize data. It means that incredibly valuable information from clinical trials is almost impossible to reuse. It means your data from one hospital is practically useless to a doctor at another one. All this amazing information just sits there, completely wasted. The entire system has to rely on a small army of experts, and that creates a huge strategic bottleneck for the whole industry.
Which brings us right to the AIDAVA project's vision, and it's a total paradigm shift. Instead of trying to clean up these gigantic, anonymous datasets from entire populations, their idea is to focus on empowering each individual to curate their own data first. Now, the heart of their solution is something called a Personal Health Knowledge Graph, or PHKG. Don't worry, the name sounds way more complicated than it is. The best way to think about it is like a super secure, super smart digital binder for all of your health information. It pulls everything, notes from your different doctors, hospital records, even data from your smartwatch, and organizes it all into one single perfect record that you, the patient, actually own and control. So how's this whole thing supposed to work? Well, they've broken it down into 4 pretty simple steps. First, you connect your data sources. Easy enough. Second, the AI gets to work cleaning and structuring everything, while you act as the supervisor, the human in the loop, making sure it's all correct. Third, you can create these clean, standardized summaries to give to your doctor or maybe for a clinical trial. And finally, that pristine data is ready to be used to improve your care and speed up research for everyone.
But, a great vision is one thing. Actually making it work is something else entirely. So the AIDAVA team built their first-generation prototype, and they put it to the test with 70 patients who were dealing with either breast cancer or cardiovascular disease. Let's see how that reality check went.
So, the first big test. How easy was this thing to actually use? Well, they used a standard scale from 1 to 100, and the answer was not good. It scored a 59.1. Now, just to give you some context, in the world of user experience design, anything below a 68 is, well, it's pretty much a failing grade. A 59.1? That's a major problem. It means the tool was clunky, it was confusing, and it just wasn't ready for prime time. But then you have this. And this is where things get really interesting. When those same patients, the ones who struggled with this clunky prototype, were asked how interested they were in the idea of a tool like this, they rated it a 4.4 out of 5. That's incredibly high. So you've got this huge disconnect, right? A terrible user experience, but this overwhelming desire for the solution. This is the golden insight.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It really gets to the heart of what they found. The challenge is obvious. The first prototype is just not user-friendly. It needs tech support. But the opportunity is massive. Patients totally get the value proposition and are highly motivated to use a tool that puts them in control of their own health data.
And hey, if you want to know just how tough the usability was, don't just take my word for it. Here is a direct quote from one of the people in the study. I mean, that says it all. The tool, as it stands, just isn't ready for your average person. This is the kind of raw, honest feedback that shows you just how big the gap is between the vision and the reality right now.
All right, so we've seen the data mass, we've seen the prototype's mixed report card. Now for the really important part. What does all this mean strategically? If you're a leader in pharmaceuticals, biotech, or digital health, what is the big lesson here?
Okay, insight number 1, and this is the big one. The patient demand is absolutely real. It's validated. This isn't a guess anymore. It's not a hypothesis. This study proves that patients understand why this matters, and they are even willing to put in the time to do the work. The market is practically screaming for a solution that actually works well.
All right, number 2. That 59.1 usability score, that's not just some number on a page. It's a giant flashing red light. It tells us that right now, the user experience is the only thing standing in the way. The study found the AI was confusing, it used technical jargon, even the wrong languages sometimes. The lesson here is crystal clear. For any company trying to win in this space, a seamless, intuitive user experience isn't just a feature, it is the entire product.
And that brings us to our third key insight, and this one is all about trust. Patients said that knowing where their data came from was super important, a 3.8 out of 5, but they felt the prototype only delivered a 3.2 on that promise. That gap right there, that's the trust deficit. If you want to get patients on board, you absolutely have to show them your work. You have to be totally transparent about where the data is coming from and what the AI is doing to it.
Okay, so we've got the insights. Now what? What's the actual blueprint for action for life sciences leaders who want to capitalize on this massive opportunity?
First up, strategic direction. And honestly, it's crystal clear. You have to shift investment from just raw AI power to the user experience. You have to prioritize human-centered design above all else, build for trust through radical transparency, and perfect that interaction between the AI and the patient. It needs to be simple, intuitive, and feel like a helpful assistant, not some confusing computer program.
And when we talk about the competitive landscape, let's be real. The stakes here are incredibly high. There is a huge first-mover advantage for whichever company cracks this usability problem first. If you can solve this, you don't just get access to a goldmine of clean data, you create an unbelievably loyal user base. And on the flip side, standing still and ignoring this, that is not an option.
So, finally, what are some concrete things to think about moving forward? Look for partnerships with top-tier UX design firms and experts in large language models. Adopt an agile approach with really rapid, constant user testing. And keep a very close eye on evolving regulations, like the European Health Data Space, so that whatever you build is ready for the future.
So this AIDAVA study really gives us a clear roadmap. It proves that patients are ready, they're willing to take control of their own health data. The technology is getting there, but the user experience is the final and most crucial piece of the puzzle. High-quality, patient-curated data is the next great frontier in medicine, and the race to unlock it has officially begun. The real question now is, who's going to get there first?